Hello everybody, it's Keren here from tuppence.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. This is what I'm going to be making today. It's this little heart-shaped box, and the inspiration for it came from the Stampin Up Spring Summer catalogue, and it came from this page here, the Falling in Love suite. And if you look there in the corner, I'll zoom into the picture for you. You can see that in the display there are a couple of little heart-shaped boxes. Now they Stampin' Up don't sell dies to make a heart-shaped box, okay, so I've had to figure out how they did it myself, and I may have done it slightly differently to the way that they've done it in the catalogue, but this is my version and I hope that you enjoy it. The supplies that I've used to make the box, I've taken a piece of soft sky cards, an A4 piece, and I've just sliced two 2-inch wide pieces right down the length of the piece of card. I've used the largest and the next to largest of the classic heart shapes in the Sweet and Sassy framelit size, and out of the piece of card I had left after I'd cut my two 2-inch wide pieces, I've cut two of the larger hearts and two of the smaller hearts, and that's going to be for the lid of my box, and that's going to be for the base of my box. Other things that I'm going to be using to make my box today: I've got a scrap of Sahara sand and a scrap of Blushing Bride. I've got a piece of the Falling in Love designer series paper. I like this pattern, which is like a bokeh effect. I'm going to be using one of the new little delicate doilies that are in the Spring Summer catalogue, and also from the Spring Summer catalogue are the Falling in Love embellishments and also the 1/4 inch very vanilla satin ribbon. I'm going to be using this stamp set, Sealed with Love, and some crumb cake ink. The top and the bottom of the box are made the same way, and I've already scored this piece, so I'm now going to do this one, and I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch. Now you can make the box as deep as you like, but you're going to need to score a 1/2 inch piece off at one edge. I'm working on the base of the box to begin with, so I'm taking the heart shapes that are cut out by the smaller of the two dies, and I've measured the length that I need for the sides, and I'm going to show you how I did that. And I did a beautiful job of explaining it a minute ago, and then realised that I hadn't put the camera on, so I'm going to try and repeat the important parts. Right, now the Sizzix framelits dies, the cutting edge is right on the inside of the die, so that you cut what you see, basically. Now there are some brands of dies where the cutting edge is kind of in the middle of the die, but not the Sizzix ones. So we can do this method with the Sizzix dies really easily. I've cut a strip of scrap card, which is, you know, it isn't even straight. It doesn't have to be brilliant. That is about somewhere between 1/2 and 1/4 inch or 1/3 inch. And what I've done, I put tear and tape onto the back of it, and I've detacked it a bit. The detacking isn't necessary at this stage, and all I'm doing is I'm starting at the point of the heart here, and I'm just feeding round to the inside with the card. Okay, I'm just pushing it up against the edge of the die, and because it's got tear and tape on it, it will stick. All right, it's not sticking as well as it did the first time that I did this and then forgot to turn the camera on, but we'll gloss over that. All right, so that I'm basically measuring the inside, and this is a little bit fiddly. I'm going to pull this bit through to the front. There you go. So that I've measured around the interior perimeter, it's a posh word for you, of the die. Alright, so then what I did is I then folded it in half, making sure that the sticky bit was on the outside, because otherwise I would have stuck the two bits together, and allowed an extra roughly 1/2 inch, and then I cut the strip to that length, and that is going to be the length that I need for the sides of the box base. Okay, then took that, detacked it on my jumper, put it on to the 2-inch strip of card with the 1/2 inch score and fold along that edge, and I just cut my card to that length, but I also marked the middle point and where I allowed that extra 1/2 inch. Can't get my words today, sorry about that. Okay, so that then gave me the length of the strip of card that I'm going to need for the box base. Alright, and you do exactly the same for the top, but obviously with a different strip of card. Alright, so before I go any further, I'm going to bring in my scoreboard. And I'm going to line up where those marks are, and I'm just going to put a score in. And that is going to be the dip at the top of my heart. All right, so I want the card to go around it, and I'm also going to put a score at this end because that's going to be the point at the bottom of my card. Got one more thing that I want to do before I start sticking everything together, and that is to notch along this edge of the card here so that I get a smooth curve when I come to start sticking everything down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start in the middle there so I know where my midpoint is. Okay, and same thing here. I'm going to just start my midpoint there. That bit is going to be cut off eventually, but I'm just going to leave it there for safety for now. And all I'm going to do is going to work my way along the 1/2 inch scored part of the card, and I'm just going to cut out little snips all the way along that are about 1/4 inch apart, 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch apart. The closer together they are, the smoother the curve will be, and the greater radius of curve that they will go around. So at this part, which is the middle, you want to keep them pretty close together. Okay, but as you get out to this side, they can be further apart. So I'm going to fast forward this bit because I think the cat is about to join me. So I'll see you in a little while. Now I'm going to stick the sides to the base, and I'm just going to run this just through my fingers just before I start, just to encourage it to curl. And I'm just going to push the edges down and make sure they're all sitting nicely, and that is going to be my center point. So I'm just going to reinforce that fold with my fingernails. Now, I'm not using a PVA glue. I've tried a number of ways of putting this together. I tried using tape, I tried using PVA, and I also tried using a hot glue gun. And the hot glue gun of those worked best, but the solvent-based glue also works well. You need something, or I need something. You may be a better stickerer than what I am, but you need something that has a reasonably fast grab. Okay, and I'm just going to put just a little bit of the adhesive to begin with, just on the upper point of the heart, and I've got my card folded, so I'm going to offer it, hang on, I got that the wrong way around. I'm going to offer it up to the heart shape, just like that. And I'm just going to stick these middle pieces into place, and that now is just going to hold it, make sure that it's nice and tucked into that base part. Now do you see why you made those snips? Because that's going to come round just like that, follow its way all the way to the bottom, and I'm just checking here that my point curves in the right place, which it pretty much does. Okay, so now I'm going to work on this a little bit at a time, fold those back out of the way until I need them, and again this is going to be fast forwarded, so talk to you in a little bit. Right, I'm just at the point where I'm going to close the box up, and it's all coming together very nicely, so I don't need this piece here, so I can chop that away, and I'm just checking that it's all going to fit together nicely, and it is. Now the more time you take doing this, the better the result you'll get, so don't rush this bit of it, take your time. I find it best to push these pieces out of the way until I'm ready to stick them down, and to work on about, you know, maybe an inch or so of the side at the time, and to turn them over and to kind of push them into place, and just take a bit of time on it, because if you rush it the box will look scruffy and you don't want that. Alright, so to finish up the box, I'm going to put a bit of adhesive on this flap to begin with, and that will hold everything in place for me, I hope. And then run a bead of my solvent based adhesive along the bottom there, and just fold in the corners, fold them in, and just push the box down. Okay, so let's have a look. These ones haven't stuck down terribly well, so I'll just put a little bit of adhesive onto the notches themselves, the flaps themselves, whatever you want to call them. Okay. And that's the base of the box, almost constructed, but that doesn't look terribly pretty, so we'll put a bit more adhesive, a bit more glue all over the base of the box. Now at this point you could use your PVA, your Tombow, your adhesive of choice if you wanted to, but you know what, I've got that handy, so I'm going to carry on using it, and that then sits over the base of your pretty little heart-shaped box. And there it is. Now I've already done the lid, so if I bring that in and slip that over the top, you can see that that is a nice, it's an easy fit. Right. I have the I Love You from the 3, 2, 1. I've got the I Love You from the Sealed with Love stamp set mounted up onto my clear block, and I've got a little scrap of Sahara Sand card which is about 1/2 inch wide, and I have crumb cake ink, and I'm just going to ink up my stamp, and I'm just going to centre that onto my piece of Sahara Sand, about there I think. And I'm not putting a lot of pressure, this is quite a delicate little stamp, and that gives me a lovely faded looking sentiment with I Love You on it. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to decorate the lid of the box, so I've die cut the exact same shape as the top of the box out of the DSP, and that is so pretty. I love that bokeh look. And now this time I am going to be using my my PVA glue, my Tombow. I could have gone on and carried on using the solvent-based adhesive, but you know, there's no need. So I'm going to go back to my old favourite. So that now is ready to have a bit more decoration and a bit more bling going on it. So this is where I'm going to start to play. Right, I've assembled some things that I think I'm going to want to use on the lid of my box. And I started off with one of the beautiful little doilies that are in the Spring Summer catalogue. But it was just a little bit too big as it was to go onto the lid of the box. So what I did is I took my snips and I snipped all around that edge there, and I came up and I got that, which I think is very, very pretty. And I was also left with that. So these are pieces that I'm going to definitely be using. I cut out some hearts, and these are the two smallest hearts in the Sweet and Sassy dies. Can't speak today. And I cut out some in Blushing Bride, just like that. I'll just have the one for now, because the other thing that I have here is the Falling in Love embellishments. These are so pretty. Can you see how pretty that is? And that's going to go like that. And then that is going to sit underneath there, just like that. Yep, it's getting there. It's getting there, and I think I'm happy with that arrangement. So I'm going to go and stick those bits down in just a little while. This is very delicate and very lacy, and I think possibly getting adhesive on it so that it will stick to the lid of my box might be a bit of a problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up my group of embellishments kind of off the, oh, actually I put the adhesive on that too long. This one needs to go on first. Okay, so I'm going to put a bit of adhesive along the bottom there, and I'm going to have the I love you popping out of that edge just there, and then I want to cover that up with the heart. So what I've done by putting the adhesive onto the embellishments first, what I'm doing is I'm creating one embellishment, so I can now, when I go to stick that down onto my box, I can put the adhesive on those bits. See what I'm doing there? Okay. And I want to shorten this because it's way too long, so I'm just going to snip that off there, and I'm going to flag or tab or whatever you want to call it at the end. I never know what to call this. It's just to make it look like it's a little ribbon banner. Go. Snip that in. Right, now it's going to be much easier to stick this piece down onto there than it would be to stick the doily and then the heart and then the banner and so on. So now I can put adhesive on there completely fearlessly. Okay. And I'm also going to put some adhesive on my embellishment, and I think that is looking very, very pretty. I want to finish off the sides a little bit. So with the piece of doily that I had left over after I cut the middle out, I'm just going to snip it into groups of 3, and I've already snipped between those pieces there, and I'm just going to put a bit of adhesive on the back, and I'm just going to work my way along the box just like this. So this is going to be another fast forward. Isn't that pretty? I just want to do one final finishing touch, and I'm going to run some tear and tape right along the edge of the box here, and I'm keeping it flush with the top of the box. And I don't know whether you can hear just off camera, but the cat is sitting there having a good old scratch. She's sometimes she kind of sleeps through my demonstrations, but today she's decided that she's going to supervise. Alright, so I'm going to rub that down well. Just going to try and find my bone folder here for a second. There it is. And my piercing tool, because I want this to be stuck down quite well. Okay, and might have been easier to do this before I did all of the pretty stuff on the top, but do you know what? Sue me. I find that my projects do tend to evolve as I'm making them, if that's the best word. Okay, so I'm just going to pull that over, pull that around. I'm going to expose a little bit of the, actually I want to go from the middle out on this, so yeah, so that would have been better, but never mind. Okay, so I'm going to start my ribbon, and I'm just going to run the what is this? It's 1/4 inch satin ribbon. I'm just going to run that along that piece of tear and tape. Now again, I could have used a liquid adhesive for this, but I was afraid that I would get it onto the surface of the ribbon, and the ribbon is so pretty. I mean, look at that. That is, you know, it's just such a pretty finish, and of course it's very vanilla, which is a lovely soft colour. I don't know whether I said when I was talking about the doilies, but they are two-sided. You have a whisper white side, oh gosh I can't speak today, and a very vanilla side, and it's up to you whether you prefer, you know, which way around you prefer, or you could take your inks to them and you could colour them to be whatever colour you choose. So there you go. There's my finished box. What do you think? I'm going to bring back the picture in the catalogue, and I'm just going to compare them, because I think the guys at Stampin' Up made this slightly differently to the way that I've made mine, but you know what? That's my effort, and I'm quite pleased with the way it turned out. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and if you want to share pictures of what you've been up to, then hop over to my Facebook page. Details are below this video, and leave me a picture, because I really would like to see it. And don't forget to like, to share and to subscribe to my channel. I will be posting more videos very soon, but for now, thank you for staying with me this long, and I hope I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.